Hi, ladies, and welcome to week 5. We're going to do some research and talk a little bit about cultural diversity in the workplace. Our student learning competency is to create effective human resource strategies for the recruitment, training, and retention of a culturally diverse healthcare workforce. So we're going to find out this week why it's important to have a culturally diverse workforce and what the benefits of having one are. So you're going to talk about the value. You're going to talk about 2 potential problems that could affect quality if you didn't have a diverse workforce. You're going to explain the need for sensitivity to cultural beliefs and values for other people, including staff and consumers or patients. And you're going to develop a cultural diversity training program for healthcare employees. Just as an aside, we are talking about cultural diversity this week, but workforces have so many other differences that human resources and employees have to deal with. We have people with disabilities, people of different sexual orientations, religions, socioeconomic statuses, genders, age. There's a lot of talk lately about the baby boomer generation retiring and the Gen Xers and Gen Ys and even younger than that taking over the workforce. So we can keep that in mind. Our discussion is to talk about the value of a diverse workforce. And just thinking about somebody's culture, it is so ingrained in them. It has to do with their communications, their rituals, the roles in their family, different customs, the relationships that they have with different people. They have certain expected behaviors and different values and thoughts. So thinking about all of that, we're going to articulate the value of having the culturally diverse workforce and talk about a couple of different problems that you may have. And if you have had them in your own workforce, that would be beneficial to share real experiences. So research and discuss the value for having the culturally diverse workforce and describe it within your own healthcare or other work settings. Talk about the value, talk about the problems, share any situations from real life that may be helpful. And if there was an issue related to diversity in your work setting, how was it resolved? Or if it wasn't resolved, what do you think you would have done to help resolve it? Some of the value of having a culturally diverse workforce is from this article right here. If you have a chance, you can go and look at it. It's very helpful, but it gives both patients and employees a greater sense of community. It helps support underrepresented minorities. It gives us all a workplace that encourages learning, because if you have a culturally diverse workforce, we can all learn from each other. It has improved customer services, an increase in cultural competency. It shows that we acknowledge our patients, respect what needs to be respected. It lessens the intimidation for patients. It gives a more of an out-of-the-box approach. It takes into consideration the social determinants of health. We have greater collaborations, better merit-based recruitments, improved employee morale. It gives us a step toward the global workforce, which you're going to talk about next week, and gives better patient outcomes and greater patient satisfaction and experience. So there's a trust or credibility and feeling of friendship that brews in an environment surrounded by diversity. This was just a little graphic that shows you that diversity can also promote diverse markets, stimulate innovation. It talks about trust again. helps the employee engagement by showing that the company understands and respects different cultures, and gives the company freedom to go after the most talented people, regardless of differences. So for your assignment, you are going to develop a diversity training program with a PowerPoint, a voiceover PowerPoint, explaining the need for sensitivity to cultural beliefs and values. So you're going to assume that you're an administrator of a healthcare facility and you're required to provide educational training programs for your staff on cultural diversity. I want you to include an explanation of the need for sensitivity to the cultural beliefs and values of others. So you can start your presentation out with that. Why do we need to have this? And then develop the teaching plan, using a PowerPoint presentation, and make sure you include the following. Talk about the program topic that you're going to discuss. Are you going to talk about religious beliefs? Are you going to talk about ethnicity? Physically challenged? Are you going to stick to cultural diversity? Identify the program objectives. So what is going to be accomplished by this training, similar to the objectives that we have each week. Determine the subject content. Maybe you're just going to stick with one certain aspect of cultural diversity. Establish and coordinate a schedule for attendance of the program. Who's going to have to go to the program? All of your employees? How are they going to get there? Who's going to cover the units or the clinics or the patients? Are they going to get paid for it? Are there going to be different times? Is it going to be an online training? Remember, if you are going to have a live training, somebody is going to have to be watching the units that these people are usually working on. Will they get paid overtime for it? Will they come on their time off? Select appropriate instructors and guest speakers. Is it going to be somebody from human resources, or are you going to hire like a national speaker? If you do that, think about the cost. A lot of times these kind of facilities, the smaller the facility, the less amount of money they have to hire different kinds of speakers. And then develop a way to evaluate the program, some kind of an evaluation tool to assess whether the participants met the objectives or not. This will all be in a PowerPoint, a voiceover, and there are instructions in the module and the syllabus on how to do this. I want you to kind of have a little bit of fun with this. Okay, this is probably the most creative assignment that we have this session. And then, as always, please reach out to me with any questions that you might have. Take care, and I'll see you online. Bye.